Well, thank you, Dave. And I'm really happy to join the Festival of Traders. There's so much good information here, but because of the limited amount of time, I'm going to talk fast and move fast. And at the very end, I'm going to even give you a link for a full-blown presentation because you really need that to see what this is about. This is Day Trade Safe, and our website is daytradesafe.com. And I want to share with you today how important riding those trend waves are in your trading. Now, I'm a day trader, and of course, that's the name of our company. It's for day traders. No, we don't do options and things like that. So I know I'm appealing to you out there who are day traders. I want you to learn how to master your day trading and get those visual and spoken alerts both to help you determine whether or not you're really in a trend when it changes, when you're in congestion or not. You don't have to have two separate indicators. You're going to get it all rolled into one, kind of like a Swiss Army knife. So that's me. I'm Michael Guess, and I want to say thanks for being here. And we're going to cover not just how we detect trend, and it's not the usual conventional ways that people are used to. We're also going to try to explain to you why the strength of the trend is important. And almost nobody ever takes a look at that and they don't know what to do with it. And I am going to show you what you can do with it because it will help you determine the best way to manage and exit your uh, exit strategies. So with that being said, just a second here, I want to reset something. Okay. Because I'm not a believer in a one size fits all. I like to tailor all of our day trading strategies for whatever the market can give you at a moment in time. Markets are different, just like you and I have personalities. Same thing with markets, even time frames, and even during different periods of the day, from the open with volatility to when it settles down and maybe reports bring it back up again. I'm going to share with you some secret chart settings for how you can determine the strength of the trend and what you can do with it to determine how to manage and exit your trades. And then I will go through a little walkthrough with how the Universal Trend and Congestion Indicator, the UTCI, will help you identify both trend and congestion. Like I say, you don't need two separate indicators. You're getting a lot of value in one indicator, kind of like a Swiss Army knife. And why do you need Audible alerts in addition to being able to see what's on your screen? Well, I'll go into that too. So let's get moving. The role of trend indicators has been around for quite a long time, as long as we've had computers. Uh, but they vary as far as how reliable they are in detecting trends or changes of trends with real precision. It varies quite a bit. But one thing I sure want you to stop doing, we've heard it, it's part of the trading lore, higher highs and higher lows. That's an uptrend. Well, I can get you a whole bunch of traders together, and you know what? I can get a lot of different opinions about when that trend actually started in each one of those traders' minds. What you need is also to avoid these congestion traps. They're like sand traps around a putting green, hard to get out of. So you want to know when they're coming, when they're developing, not when it's too late and, oh, shoot, I just took a trade and I'm in congestion and it's not going anywhere and I'm going to get stopped out. You want to know that so you can stay out of trouble. That's one of the number one things that traders worry about is I don't want to get stuck in congestion. So what if this indicator worked on all trending types of markets? I don't care if it's futures and commodities. I don't care if it's a stock market. Doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter what your time frame setting is, whether you're using a bar type of a minute-based bar or whether you're using tick-based bars or even Renko bars. It'll work. It'll work. Now, I'm going to come back to this over and over again. Strength of trend is really going to help you dictate what type of exit strategy you want to use. And you should know this before you get into a trade. After you're in a trade, it's too late, because you may have a very, very weak trade, and that would call for one particular strategy. And if you chose the wrong one, actually, I hope you're not doing a one size fits all the time. For example, if all you do is scalp, that might make you consistent profits, but not much. And you're leaving money on the table, as many of us know, especially if you get a big price move. So with that being said, what about the flip side of the coin? If you don't have a trend and you've got congestion, you want to be able to know ahead of time how to stay out of trouble, as I was hinting earlier. You want to be able to anticipate that the trend is possibly ending and you might be going into a trading range that becomes congestion, at which point you sure don't want to be looking for a trade. I know there's a very small minority of people who love congestion and they love breakouts, but personally, I haven't found breakouts to be reliable enough for me. If you trade gold, if you trade crude oil, you know they don't trend smoothly and nicely. They tend to congest a lot. So you want to be able to know that you are looking for trending markets. What kind of markets trend? Of course, currencies do, indexes do, depends on whatever it is. But if you have this indicator, you'll know if you have a trend and how strong it is. And you'll be able to anticipate whether or not, if you're in congestion, you're in that sand trap, whether you're about to get a possible breakout. And it's rules-based Boolean logic. It's not just because part of the bar pokes out of a trading range or something. It's going to actually have a two-step confirmation process that needs to be confirmed to give you a resulting actual trend, either up or down out of that congestion trading range, if you will. And fake outs occur way too often. I hinted at it earlier when I talked about crude oil and gold, because congestion doesn't always follow through just because you get a breakout. We know that if you've had prior experience using them a lot, sometimes you might get a few bars and then it'll turn right around and go straight back into congestion. And then bingo, you might have hit your stop and you're pretty frustrated. Wouldn't it be nice though if all of this, you didn't have to lift a finger, you wouldn't have to mouse around, you wouldn't have to draw stuff, you wouldn't have to just guess at looking at the chart, that it was all plotted on the screen totally automatically for you. Every time you get a change of trend, it will show it. And as you'll hear about a little bit later, you'll get an Audible alert. And I'll tell you that it's not a sound, it's actual spoken English. And it goes into great detail about what type of trend change it is. Now, if you're in congestion, it's going to always look for newer congestion patterns. The market might plateau at a slightly higher or slightly lower level and still be in a brand new type of congestion, in which case, oh, you might have missed that if you would have been just trying to guess, well, what's going on? It moved below where it was before. Maybe I'm out of congestion, but uh-oh, it's really got brand new congestion. It'd be great if it did it for you automatically, continuously, even on charts that are not visible but are hidden. So looking at these three charts, I want you to first get this in your head. Avoid trading from a single chart. That is so last century. You want to be able to have multiple time frame settings. What do you use? Avoid the generic drop-down menus that are in your trading platform. No matter how good the platform is, typically it won't allow you to dial in the settings that you want or need that are specific to the market you might be trading. Why? Well, I'm going to recommend NinjaTrader. I don't get paid to say it. I've just been using it for about 8 years, and it is won number one as the best platform for day trading over and over and over again. It allows you to give you any setting you want. What settings do you want to avoid that one size fits all? A 9-minute, a 3-minute, and a 1-minute are the settings you want for a wide angle view, a dominant cycle medium zoomed in 300% view, and another 300% zoom in for the low risk surgical entry chart setting. That's the ones that I recommend you try out on your own for trading the indexes, for example. You'll find that actually they work pretty well on almost any market. But if you are in either my full-blown course that goes with my actual Trade Safe Trade Dominator system, or if you watch the video that I'm going to give you a link for that gives you the walkthrough on how this all works, you will see how it is all done. Because you need to tailor these settings for the market you're trading to give you that actual strength of trend. Hopefully this makes a difference to you. If you got questions, certainly I'll take them at the end if we have time, but I'm going to keep moving right along now because here's the deal. You want to know what the market is capable of giving you. If you knew that it was a really strong trend, by golly, you would want to use a baseball metaphor, swing for the fences and stay in that trade as long as you could and milk it for all it's worth, right? If it was a real weak trend, but still serviceable and worthwhile taking a trade based on your rules for whatever you're using, then you probably would want to, again, using a baseball metaphor, bunt and just get on base. That's essentially letting you know that if you zoom out and zoom in, how many of those charts are in agreement are going to let you know whether you should bunt and get on base or swing for the fences. What does that correlate to? Scalping or scaling out. If only the 1 minute and the 3-minute agree, you would probably just want to scalp, unless you got super big risk, in which case you might want to stand aside or opt for a scale out, which permits greater risk. That is covered in my ebook as well. And that ebook, by the way, is available on our website, daytradesafe.com. On that homepage, you can always get it for free. Now, scaling or scalping are the two dominant ways that you could manage and exit a trade instead of a one size fits all. But when I started out, I didn't know that stuff. I've been doing this professionally for over 30 years. Yeah, I know I'm a graybeard, but years ago, there really weren't that many accurate trend or congestion indicators, and I wasn't that much aware of those things. I was just following the old uh, advice, use those higher highs and higher lows. Well, I saw a higher high and I jumped the gun, got in. Every time I thought I saw a bar going higher or two bars going higher maybe, and you know what? It turned right around. It didn't have any follow through and I got stopped out. And I got frustrated, but I kept doing it because that's all I knew. And I lost a lot of money, but most of all, it really damaged my confidence. Consequently, what I had to do was build my own indicator, which I'm sharing with you today. So it's super easy to import into NinjaTrader. I built it for that platform because I highly respect that platform. And it is yours for life. And if you have any problems whatsoever, you get free support from our 24-hour support desk, and we will help you work through any problems you have. You can put it on all of your charts, the 1 minute, the 3-minute, the 9-minute, as I was recommending. If you use those settings, you can put it on everything. But the more charts that are trending together, the stronger the follow through. It just makes sense. You've got a lot of wind at your back. You want to stay in that trade because that is what dictates whether you want to scale out, get some money off the table, and trail that profit stop. That's what you want to do. But if it's a super weak one, just go for a few tick scalp, not too small, because then commission becomes a factor. So I go into that again also in the ebook as well as in my course that accompanies my full-blown system. There's the ebook. That's not the full name of it. It's got a longer name, but it's 3 secret chart settings, and it's available. And it will tell you how to set up those automated trade management exit strategies and what you would want to do once you knew how many of the charts were in agreement and so forth. All you got to do is go to daytradesafe.com. Now, looking at a screenshot, remember, I don't have time enough to go into an actual live charts demo here, so I'm just able to work with screenshots. All I'm showing you is what's underneath the price action, so there are no bars to look at. In a subgraph, underneath your price action are those 2 main bands of color, green for an uptrend and salmon pink for a downtrend. What separates them? The method that was used to give you that change of trend. I don't rely on just one method. I actually utilize 2 separate methods. One of them uses a tried and true moving average crossover, but highly customized. And that's C for crimson, C for crossover, and that's what that crimson band is. The little band of color before it is simply saying, uh-oh, you're losing the trend that you were in. Get ready for either congestion or maybe a change of trend. But the instant you see that crimson band of color, or if it was a swings method, a break of support or resistance with follow through, it's Boolean logic. It has rules. It has steps that have to be fulfilled. And again, you'll see the color. It'll be slate gray, S for swings, S for slate. And then once you've got that, that's your change of trend. And boom, you are seeing the color that says, hey, you're in a downtrend. It is so simple. So green in the subgraph gives you an uptrend. Salmon pink is a downtrend. And if there isn't a color, what does that mean? It means you don't have a trend. You're in congestion, as I'll go into shortly. So change of trend, 2 different methods. The crimson color, I already covered that. That little narrow band of color for crimson is using the moving average crossover. The slate gray uses the swings method, a break of the nearest swing high or swing low, to give you, with follow through and steps, that you have a change of trend that is confirmed. Now, both of these are customized. They're not traditional, because if you poke through the nearest swing high on a chart, that doesn't necessarily mean you're changing trend. It's got to have follow through. Well, I have very specific rules about how much follow through and what that constitutes. Now, what if they both methods occur on the same bar? Does that mean it's even better? Not necessarily. It just means they happen to agree. And neither one of them is any better than the other one. Consequently, you will just see a black color saying, okay, both methods happen to give you the change of trend. But here's one of my favorite parts. Instead of just staring at the charts, maybe you're saying, oh, well, I'm in congestion, or I don't have trend agreement, the 1 minute's up, the 3 minutes down. Dang, I'm getting bored, my butt is sore. I'm gonna get up and go in the kitchen, maybe get a drink of water, fix a sandwich, do something like that. Or I'm gonna look at other markets and charts. Well, guess what? What if you had your computer talk to you in plain English? It wouldn't just give you a sound, which is useless. It would tell you that you've got an actual change of trend or congestion, and it's got a whole variety of various alerts that you would hear, even if your workspace is hidden behind other workspaces, which NinjaTrader permits, even if your charts are hidden behind whatever you're looking at currently, you will still hear those alerts over your speakers. And it will let you know what the market is. It'll tell you, like NASDAQ, 3 minute change of trend, or Dow 1 minute, congestion, and so forth, or breakout or fake out, and so on and so forth. So here's another screenshot. I'm going to have to pick up the pace because we're getting close to the end here. Uh, if you notice that it was in an uptrend here when it was green, you had a change of trend at this spot right there, and it went into the downtrend. And then guess what? Blank areas. Those are the blank areas where you had no trend. And what is this rectangle up above plus previous one that lost its color and it's left behind just a phantom outline? That was previously simply showing you the range, the trading range from top to bottom of what you have to break out of to achieve, as you did here, to get the downtrend, or to go back into that same trading range, that congestion zone, to get no trend. You're back in congestion. And as that occurs, of course, you're going to hear the spoken alerts. So this sequence was you were in a downtrend, you went into congestion for a while, you went into a very brief 2-bar downtrend again, because oftentimes those breakouts have fake outs, and you had that fake out for several bars. Then you had another breakout and yet another breakout, fake out, back inside until finally you had a real confirmed breakout. And when it's been out long enough and the conditions are met, guess what? This color will disappear and you'll have that phantom outline, and you don't need to worry about any more breakout, fake outs for your congestion. So here in a nutshell, and I know it's a little bit busy, but I'm going to keep trying to go as quickly as I can so I don't run out of time, is right here uptrend, all of this, and then you went into a downtrend using both methods. That's the rather rare opportunity when they both signal that, and you were in a downtrend. Now you might say, well, wait a minute, weren't you in congestion because of that box? No. Only down here is where you look for the actual lack of trend and its true congestion. All this does is show you how far back in time it was mapping. This was its reference or anchor bar. The high and low was the trading range that you had to break out of, which you did there, and then got a breakout, fake out, back in again, and then out again finally for the final breakout that was confirmed. Now, a zoomed in version of how you get a confirmed breakout would be something like this. I'm not going to give you the rules, but I think you could probably figure it out just by looking at it. You are inside this trading range, the congestion zone, if you will, and I've already hidden the indicator below, but this bar is now outside, and it was the beginning of a breakout. It's not confirmed, because if it didn't go any further and went right back in, you're still in congestion. It's basically a reset. But if it did confirm, which this one did, you would also see that change of trend. It would go from blank to the color of salmon pink, and you'd hear the audible alerts. First this one, that you're starting the breakout, and then this one, that you have confirmed it the instant it had fulfilled that condition. So here we are once again, uptrend, downtrend, and in between you had congestion. And I'm looking at previous patterns of congestion, and it preserves them historically so you can see on your chart which was once congestion. It'll preserve the blank areas down below, as well as these trading range zones, those phantom outlines, just so that you can know that was what was in the past. Now, once again, this is kind of a repeat of something you saw before. You were in an uptrend, change of trend to downtrend, went into congestion, downtrend again out of a breakout, then you had a fake out, then you had a downtrend, and then you had a fake out right here, a down, and that resulted in congestion, and then finally a full-blown breakout that persisted, and that would cause this to disappear and turn into a phantom outline, just like the other one did. Again, to see a live demo would make it so much easier to grasp. Now, what if you weren't able to see or hear things? Maybe you're too far away to hear what was happening over your speakers. I have a log that preserves all of these. It tells you the instrument, tells you when it occurred, and on which chart, whether it's a tick chart. See, here's an example of a non-time based chart. It could have been a 9-minute, a tick chart. It could have been a 1 minute, and so forth. And you will always know. Historically, it preserves that. So knowing that I've only got a few minutes left, I'm going to keep going further, and I think I can make it. I want you to know that I don't just want you to have this terrific indicator that will guarantee that you know if you're in a trend or not, you're in congestion or not. It will even talk to you in plain English and let you know what all those conditions are as they are occurring. I'm throwing in some free bonuses. These are in addition. First of all, you're getting a small system, a mini type of system. I don't mean mini contracts. I'm saying a small type of trend detection system that as soon as it detects a trend, it has rules that will let you follow those rules and enter a trade. Now, you're free to play with that as much as you want. To me, that is still not as good as a full-blown Boolean logic trade safe, trade domination system, but it can go a long way. But I want you to know that that's thrown in for you to try out. It's a very good start. Another one is for those who like to try breakouts from congestion. Well, that's cool. You know that you got to try to avoid a breakout, fake out as much as possible. So what if you had some rules that helped you know that, plus where to park your stop, etc. These two little bonuses are thrown in, no extra charge. Now you can even see how they are working once you go to our sales page, which I'll have that on the last slide, and it will walk you through them. But even better on the last slide would be for me to show you the link to a full-blown live walkthrough demo, which admittedly it's almost an hour, but it gives you what you need to form a real confidence about this rather than just look at screenshots. So if you've got questions, type them real quick. We've got just a couple of 3 minutes left at most. I don't want to run out of time. I'm still looking at it. I've got maybe 3 minutes left. No questions? Okay. So, pardon me. I want you to know that you can have complete confidence in this indicator. It is fully guaranteed. I guarantee that after 30 days, if it doesn't perform exactly like I say it will, I'll give you all your money back so you don't have any risk at all. And guess what? Even though it's a very, very small amount, because indicators don't cost very much, we all know that, I offer you a flexible payment plan just as a freebie, so to speak, because it'll help you get started. Now, I want you to write this down, please. go.daytradesafe.com/replay hyphen indicator. I know that's a lot, and I'm going to leave this slide up until the very end because that is how you are able to, although you may be able to watch the replay if Dave provides it, you will be able to watch the full walkthrough and see exactly how it works. Now, this is if you are ready to go and you just want to use your credit card, fine, you can do that. Go to daytradesafe.com/indicator. But I mentioned that you get a payment plan. I have an arrangement with PayPal. It's 6 months, same as cash. It's a 2-minute soft credit check. Whether you love or hate PayPal, you don't need an account with them. They will let you know if they think that your credit is good enough. They will give you 6 full months to pay them back. And you know what? Unlike a credit card, they won't charge you a penny of interest. Highly recommend trying that one first. That's on the order page. Or you can just use the card straight away. What is your investment? It's only $197. That's for really a 2-in-1 Swiss Army knife indicator that gives you both congestion detection, which there are very few out there, as well as trend detection, both with visual alerts as well as audible alerts. So, any final questions? Let me see if I can get this out real fast because there's only about 30 seconds left. Crystal clear and distinct, thank you. I appreciate that. The trend was there in green when the trend was down. No, maybe you thought the trend was down. But again, I highly encourage you to use that longer link to watch the replay. Okay, what does prop safe mean? I have no idea, Tracy. Do you mean can you use it in prop rooms if they're providing you funding? Sure. Absolutely.